Hello everyone, and welcome to the weekender number 4. Another week passes by with some events, and hope you guys are having a good time in your day-to-day lives. So here are some events from the past week that might have missed your attention. Now, one disclaimer that I want to put forward is that I'm not providing you with news or I'm not cooking up stories from my own imagination. This is public information already out in the public domain by the respective countries and their information bodies. So nothing that I say in these videos is my own personal interpretation of the events that are going around. All I am doing is merely telling you what exactly do they think and what it means in the context of Asia and more broadly in the context of South Asia. Alright, so on that note, let's look at West Asia. So when I say West Asia, I mean the region that many of you call it as Middle East. But if you get your sense of direction right, it is actually West Asia for us. And when I say us, I mean the people of Bharat. So very recently, United Nations, in one of its press communications put out, it said that there are a few conventions that countries have signed on an international level, such as 1961 Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations and 1963 Vienna Convention on Consular Relations. So if you have signed these conventions, then you are supposed to abide by them, and broadly what these conventions say is that let's say, for example, you are a sovereign country and there is another sovereign country, and you both have developed a foreign relations office on each other's territories. So let's say, for example, there is a United States consulate in Bharat. So for all legal and practical purposes, that territory on which that consular or embassy is situated is treated as a foreign territory. So by that logic, these territories are immune from any aggressive action. So if there was a war going on between two countries, then that particular piece of land on which the consulates and embassies stand are immune from being attacked. Now, why am I telling you this is very recently the state of Israel, the Jewish state, is allegedly said to have carried out strikes in Syria. It attacked an Iranian embassy compound in Syria and eliminated 7 alleged terrorists. So now there has been no official acceptance from the side of Israel that yes, we have conducted these strikes, but global media platforms are abuzz with reports that it was indeed Israel who conducted these strikes. So United Nations had put out a communique saying that the state of Israel, the Jewish state, it has violated these conventions. Now this raises a lot of questions. So if you have seen the movie Inception, wherein the concept of dream inside a dream inside a dream. So similarly, the affairs in West Asia have a similar dynamic. There are questions inside a questions inside a question. So the first question is, what exactly were Iranian officers doing on Syrian territory? Now this question begs another question, that why does Israel have a problem with Iranian officers on Syrian soil? And what potential benefit could Syria have from having Iranian officers on its soil. So we don't know the exact answers to this question, but I would want to I would want to drive your attention towards some facts that are already out there in public domain. And yeah, so there is this concept that Iran has, that is axis of resistance. Resistance to whom? Resistance to the Western world, resistance to the Western hegemony in the West Asian region. So broadly, under this idea of axis of resistance, Iran has been funding and facilitating the activities of militant groups such as Hamas and Hezbollah. So now let's get into the smaller details about what exactly does it mean when we say that Iran has been facilitating and funding activities of these groups. So for that, you need to understand that in the faith or in the belief system that is Islam, there are broadly two categories, that is Sunnis and Shias. And Iran is a Shia majority country, and Hamas is a Sunni political and militant organization. So this goes without saying that the two schisms of Islam has been fighting, and the relationship between the two is very much acrimonious. So there are multiple examples of Shia-Sunni conflict across the world history, and some of them are the Bahraini uprising, the Iraqi civil war, the Syrian civil war, the Iraqi war of 2013 to 2017, and the ISIS persecution of Shias is not unknown to anyone. So that raises a bigger question, as in Iran being a Shia majority country, why exactly is it supporting Hamas, that is a Sunni political and militant organization? Now here are some video evidences that are already out in the public domain to establish and corroborate the fact that it is indeed Iran that is supporting such hostile actions of such political and militant outfits.
تهدم بيت في الضفة وبالغد وأول هذا كله الإيران يدفع، والسلاح أيضا اللي بيقاتلوا فيه الفلسطينيين هذا منهم، يا بيدفعوا ثمنه الإيرانيين يا الإيرانيين بيوفروه. هذا كله عملية مستمرة. أنت بتحكي عن 30 سنة نفقات. أنا أقول لك، أنا إذا بدي أحسب شو دفعوا الإيرانيين للفلسطينيين عبر 30 سنة، أنا أقول لك مليارات الدولارات. يمكن الناس تستغرب.
ولنا في هذا المقام كلمة لا بد أن تقال، فالشكر كل الشكر للجمهورية الإسلامية في إيران التي لم تبخل علينا طيلة السنوات الماضية ولا على فصائل المقاومة الفلسطينية الأخرى بالمال والسلاح والخبرات والدعم في كافة المجالات بفضل الله سبحانه وتعالى.
ساهمت يعني إلى حد كبير وبجهد كبير بتطوير القدرات العسكرية للمقاومة الفلسطينية عبر التدريب، تطوير الأسلحة، ويعني تعليم رفاقنا من أبناء شعبنا الفلسطيني في غزة والضفة الغربية على صناعة السلاح، صناعة الصواريخ.
So sovereign wealth funds. Norway is a country in the world that has the largest sovereign wealth fund of $1.4 trillion. This fund they use to invest in companies and economies of other countries to derive profits. Now very recently, Ireland, in the recent past, Ireland and Norway are two countries that have started divesting. They have pulled out capital from Israeli establishments in response to the aggressive actions that the state of Israel is taking in Gaza. And there are many other countries. One of them is also Spain. They are also divesting their capital, pulling out their capital from Israeli establishments. So there have been two events where some legal rights bodies, they have approached the judiciary to remedy the actions. One of them has occurred in Netherlands. A Dutch court has instructed the state of Netherlands to stop supplying spare parts for the F-35 fighter jets that the Israel Air Force is using. Second such petition has been filed in a German court where they have resorted to judicial intervention to stop military exports to the state of Israel. Also, some other actions are also being undertaken in the International Court of Justice, that is the judicial arm of United Nations. Countries, it was initially started by South Africa, but now there are other two countries that have joined suit, that is Colombia and Nicaragua. These three countries have joined forces to declare Israel as an aggressor in the recent Gaza war. Now the reason why I am telling you all this, now I will be accused, and I don't mind being labeled as an Israel sympathizer or Zionist sympathizer, but the reason why I am telling you all this is to paint a picture in front of you, to let you know that how these democracies supposedly they are supposed to be the best functioning democracies, some shining stars and examples of how a democracy is supposed to function. To what extent do these countries go to protect their own national interests? Now, if you compare this with what Bharat is constantly exposed to, is whenever we as a country, as a sovereign country, whenever we take an action to protect our own national interests, there is this barrage of criticism that is thrown to us by the global media houses, but somehow they fail to check their own backyard. And I would say the people of our country are more to be held responsible, in part because we are so gullible. We buy into these stories, and yeah, that is why we are here. That is what we want to change. Next up is the South China Sea. South China Sea is a water body in the East Asia region. Very recently, the state of Philippines, the naval arm of the state of Philippines, they tried to establish some buoys in the water body that is South China Sea, and they were confronted by the aggressive actions of China, the People's Navy. They used water cannons and to push them back. So there was this small naval skirmish between the navies of Philippines and China. Now this event was not taken lightly, and very recently there was this announcement that United States, Japan, Philippines and Australia, they will undertake a naval exercise in the same water body. Similarly, to counter that, China also announced that they will also undertake a military patrol of the water body. Now the said water body is very hotly contested because the approximate worth of goods that travel through the South China Sea is somewhere close to $3 trillion. So it does have an economic angle. The conflict does highlight the desire to control a water body and to assert naval dominance. Next up is this sailing expedition, this adventurous endeavor that is undertaken by 12 women from the armed forces of Bharat, as they are traveling from Mumbai to Lakshadweep and they will return back. The entire journey is 24 days, and this is to act as a preparation for a larger mission that they will undertake by the end of this year to sail across the world with an all-women crew. So kudos and more power to these females who act as an inspiration for all of us. So the summer seasons are approaching, and these are the days where children have vacations in their school and their parents are relatively free. So this is the time when we are supposed to travel. So we urge you to explore the mystic land that is Bharat. These are some videos that are put on the official handles of tourism departments of respective states. So, here are some videos from Pavagadh in Gujarat, Palakkad in Kerala, and many more. So we urge you to plan your next trip in your own land. So if you have reached the end of this video and you like such content, subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.